Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with a video about Death End Request Code Z, because actually it's turned out to be a bit more special than I initially realized it would be, and makes it a very unique release for collectors. So firstly, a bit of background. If you remember, this was announced for a North American physical release a couple of years ago. Pre-orders went live alongside the PlayStation 5 version. However, between the pre-orders opening and the game's planned release, Nintendo changed their policies, their guidelines to developers and publishers regarding what would be and wouldn't be allowed on their system. This came as a bit of a shock, because up to that point, Nintendo had been one of the most open-minded platforms. Games that were censored on PlayStation 5 would not be censored on Nintendo Switch. Overnight, it became an almost complete role reversal, and games that were announced or planned by various publishers had to be cancelled, some of them publicly, some of them internally. Death End Request Code Z was the biggest humiliation because it was the most public, the highest profile release with the most pre-orders going on at that time. And it was also annoying because I was actually really looking forward to it thanks to the gameplay style, which I will get into soon. Now, it wasn't too long after Nintendo of America and Europe's content policy changes that I did have a little bit of hope, because East Asia Soft, a publisher, in partnership with PlayAsia, a retailer in Hong Kong, they started to bring many of those cancelled games back via a slight loophole. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, 2, 3, Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Blackheart, these games that were also cancelled in their Western release because of Nintendo, they came back via a Southeast Asian release, a proper physical on Nintendo Switch, and unlike the Japanese editions, these ones had English. It's not really a loophole, but it was a great way to get these cancelled English versions out into people's hands. And it was because of those games I was quietly confident that Death End Request Code Z would follow suit eventually, and hopefully too, since it is a better game than all of those, no question. And it did, and it is out right now. After a pre-order period, it is now shipping. If you check the links down below in the description and pinned comment, you'll see that the standard English physical release on Nintendo Switch and the 2,000 copy limited edition are now being sent out. The standard edition, exactly what it says on the tin, but the limited edition includes a soundtrack CD, art book, certificate, manual, acrylic standee, Joy-Con stickers, and a mini case. Again, only 2,000 copies of this are being made. Once it's gone, it's gone. If you want to purchase it, you can do so via the links in the description. PlayAsia, if you click my link, you can get 5% off with my discount code Jordan2026. Just remember to click the link first, otherwise the code won't work. And sometimes YouTube interferes with the link click. It'll take my affiliate tag off because it's a prick. So if it really doesn't work, use my imports database and click from there. Also, you can get it from VGP, who are helping PlayAsia out by stocking a few copies as well, and they will ship it worldwide for free on orders over 75 Canadian bucks, like 55 American dollars. And any purchase made via any link below helps support me in the channel in the best way possible, the work that I do for you guys. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, what is the point of this video? I've mentioned these talking points already in previous videos. Well, look, this is Physical Paradise. On the whole, I only care about games with physical copies, so this is not something I've brought up before, but the other games that followed this path, the Neptunia Rebirth trilogy, Hyper Devotion Noir, while they were banned from having a physical copy in the West and from being sold on the North American and European eShops, for the digital Daves and Daisies out there, there was still a digital option. Because alongside the PlayAsia physical release, you could still technically get the English version digitally too, if you were brave enough to venture onto the Hong Kong eShop. You know, a good chunk of people in Hong Kong speak English and they use it in business-related activities all the time. So, although admittedly obscure, you still had options. You had the physical, you had the digital. Both needed roundabout ways to get them, but they were there at least. However, Death End Request Code Z is different, because on Nintendo Switch, the English version, it is a true physical-only release. The only way to get this in English on Switch is via this physical release I'm talking about. There is no digital English release for this game, not even on the Hong Kong eShop. It wasn't delisted, it wasn't cancelled, it just didn't happen. Why? I don't know, but that makes this a whole different kettle of fish compared to the others, because now you don't have options, you just have this one. This is the only way to get it. It makes it very, very unique. I've made videos about physical only games, and if you watch them, you'll find that it's mostly because the digital version was delisted due to rights issues or lapsed contracts, annual updates. Very few had no digital at all, and those that have been in a similar boat, none of them are as obscure as this when it comes to the physical release. Sure, if you watch this channel, you're probably aware of the physical because you're a physical fiend, but normies out there, they will not have a clue. If you want to have it, you want to have the only way of owning this game in English on the Switch, you can get it with the link below in the description and pinned comment. And the game itself is pretty good. I did an impressions video on the PlayStation 5 release many moons ago at this point. It's not like the other games in the series. This is a dungeon crawling top-down game that is a bit like a mystery dungeon style game, a step in that direction anyways. As you go through the dungeons, you'll find that you get rewarded for dying, and rewarded for dying in new and uniquely gruesome ways. It's actually how you really power up your character, which is what I think Nintendo of the West took issue with, almost glorifying that aspect, and us impressionable Westerners either can't handle that or are just ready to get the lawyer on the phone if they see some kind of opportunity. But each monster you fight, if you lose, you get a unique situation, a unique piece of artwork for that monster and that kind of death, with a toe-curling description of the events. As a fan of horror games and movies, I think it's awesome. The gameplay itself, like the moment-to-moment action, is quite simple, but this unique gimmick is very intriguing and almost makes you want to grind death, even on the monsters that take ages to take you down. It's definitely something different, and I am disappointed that Nintendo feel the need to protect me from it as though I'm not an adult who can't take care of myself. I would buy this just to stick the middle finger up at them, so the cherry on top is that it is actually a unique, interesting and fun game. That's the bonus here. So let me know, did you order this already or are you planning on picking it up? Which edition did you purchase, the standard or limited edition? If you want to purchase it and you want to support me at the same time, then please do so via the links down below in the description and pinned comment. And if you watched all the way through, even though you knew half of this information already, that's the legend you are, and I want to know who you are. So leave me a skull emoji in the comments, that will tell me, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.